Dander.
Konbanwa, konnichiwa, and yobaseo. Hey, it's Will here, the OMSR, doing the POLIT'AI CHI. Brief voiceover, as it were, but on camera. Decided to do that a little bit more. Talking briefly about Fiorina. And the broad stroke reason that nobody's really talked about, this is just an anecdotal theory of mine, but there's so much, like you'd say in court, a preponderance of circumstantial evidence. A little technical difficulty. The challenges of trying to do all your pre and post-production on YouTube. Alright, here's the deal with HP. When Miss Fiorina took over, she was quoting that, and she has such a, how do you say, grating personality. I think that best befits her. You'll see. Courtesy to MSNBC and Morning Joe. Get your morning Java. Definitely. T-Bo, do whatever you gotta do. Alright, here's the deal with Compact. Now, I got a Compact laptop. One of the last ones made, in fact. You can see their attempt at like rebranding vis-a-vis a kitschy catchy logo. Okay, that wasn't gonna help their situation. I'm going to try to show you the model, but the ISO on this camera and the lighting's probably not going to show you that, but trust me, it's right there. The Compact Presario, one of their flagship platforms, the CC80-216DX. Now, because of all the security loopholes vis-a-vis, you know, I promise I won't say that again. Vista, there's a reason why there's 2 service packs for Vista totaling 1 gigabyte. That's 1/4 of what the DVD installs for Windows Vista. More on that on another episode. Why I was one of the first in all of media, be it social or news, who had an absolute conniption fit when this came out about Hillary. But about Fiorina, you know, endorsement, and her gonna be like doing lots of stuff, future forward, heretofore. I'm not gonna get in. I'm not gonna cover all of that. I'm just going to like put the caveat out there for you all. Be advised. Compact used to make the bomb towers. When I started college back in the 90s, internet generation, back when there was American Online, AOL 1.0, those of you with smartphones were like, huh, what? No offense, but it's my advice to those of you with them dumb smartphones, not that you're dumb, but if you don't have a security background and some rudimentary knowledge of managing your computer, be careful what you do with them. But Compact was trying to emulate the gateway. Those of you are like, you're 20-something, you don't know what the hell we're talking about here. Maybe you do. I'm not going to try to dumb it down to the audience by saying you're dumb. Don't do that, Gerald. You must conduct yourself with class and dignity at all times. But Compact was trying to emulate the gateway/Dell model where you can call up and get your computer made in a modular way. I just showed you my laptop, of which there were many platforms, of which there were many models, and HP acquired it. And to this day, if you have to rebuild your Compact, you go to HP, you look at all the drivers, there's 20 freaking different renditions of the model number. Compact was making 300 to 500 different models, trying to emulate that, but in the pre-distribution phase, e.g. in the store, what you would call OEM, original equipment manufacturing, to meet everybody's possible, well, if you want this with that software platform or not, you go to this model. It's maddening. To think that acquiring such a large logistical manufacturing base with huge overhead, I swear by Compact towers back then, the last Compact tower that I bought was a $1,500 computer, Garden Lab, but in the late 90s, that was the retail value, for $400. So much overhead, incorporating into an already complex organization through their printing process, and HP was the bomb back in the 90s. You wanted a great printer? HP. It was a no-brainer. So, Fiorina trying to espouse her, what she thinks she knows so well. Think again. Roll.
We need a real conservative who will provide real conservative solutions in people's lives. That is the only way we beat Donald Trump, and that is the only way we are going to beat Hillary Clinton, and Ted is the man to do it. We need real reform. because we have too much economic and too much political power concentrated in the hands of too few people. And I ran because we need a real constitutional conservative serving in the White House. Last Tuesday, we had a primary. And I walked into the ballot box and I looked at the ballot and I saw my own name on the ballot. It was kind of a thrill. But then I checked the box for Ted Cruz, and I'm here to tell you why.
That was former Republican presidential candidate Carly Fiorina yesterday at her surprise endorsement of Senator Ted Cruz, and she joins us now live from Coral Gables, Florida. Carly, great to see you again.
Good morning, Mika. How are you? Hi, Joe.
Good. We got a little bit of a delay. Let's start off now, first of all, asking you what led to your decision? What were the issues you had to weigh when it came to coming down to endorsing Ted Cruz?
Well, you know, I weighed them in the voting booth when I voted in the Virginia primary. And I thought, why did I run? Because I think we need a conservative. Because I think we need someone who will actually challenge the system, a system that favors the big, the powerful, the wealthy, the well-connected, and doesn't work for the rest of us. Because I think we need someone who isn't afraid to take on the vested interests. And Ted Cruz is that guy. And importantly, he also can beat Donald Trump, and Donald Trump needs to be beaten at the ballot box before we can go on and beat Hillary Clinton.
Is there any other way to sort of stop the Trump train, if that's something one would be interested in? Because you mentioned at the ballot box as if that was important.
Is the system that she claims she will reform. Hillary Clinton has made her millions selling access and influence from the inside of that system, and Donald Trump has made his billions buying people like Hillary Clinton off. They're not going to reform the system, they're going to defend the system. But the only way to beat them is not with establishment leaders tisk-tisking about voters' choices. The only way to beat Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton is at the ballot box, by providing real solutions in their lives that are going to matter and work.
Mike?
Ms. Fiorina, before we get to the ballot box...
Hi, Mike.
How are you? You're looking good.
Good.
Before we get to the ballot box, the language and the conduct of several of the candidates, specifically Mr. Trump, has been bothersome to a lot of people during the course of this campaign. Do you believe that the candidates who are left, including your candidate now, Senator Cruz, do you believe that they have an obligation, perhaps even a moral obligation, to speak out about the language and the tenor of this campaign that emboldens so many people across this country to believe things like Islam does hate us?
You know, one of the things, Mike, that I said frequently on the campaign trail is I believe character is revealed over time and under pressure. And I think Ted Cruz's character has been revealed because never has he gotten down in the gutter. Never has he hurled personal insults. Never has he attacked groups of people. And yes, I think the language is very important. And I think what Ted Cruz has demonstrated is that he is always going to stick to the issues, to the substance, that he is going to appeal to our better angels, not to our demons. And I think that is important. A lot of other candidates, two in particular, who will be on the debate stage tonight, have gotten down in that gutter. And I don't think it's helpful to our party, and it is not helpful to our nation. We need to unify our party, and we need to unify our nation. Look, I've said all along that I'll support our Republican nominee, but here's a news flash. The media has given Donald Trump more airtime, all outlets of the media, more time than anyone else combined, I guess, because all of you think he is going to be the nominee. Here's the thing. You don't make the call. The voters make the call. And while Donald Trump had a good week this week, here's the thing. We have, I don't know, 40% of the delegates still left. So I'm going to spend all my time talking to voters about why this is an important choice and why it's their choice. Not the media's choice, not the establishment's choice. This is their choice.
I don't think the media thinks it's their call. I mean, if you look at the interviews with Donald Trump, I'd say over the next past month, let's just try and pare it down to that, because there have been many. I'll give you that, because he goes on any show he can get on. But I think he's been asked the questions, Carly. I think he's been asked the tough questions. I really do. And it's his answers that apparently the voters are okay with.
Well, look, I totally agree with you that the media is finally starting to ask Donald Trump some tough questions. It's also true that every single media outlet covered his entire news conference on Tuesday night live and did not even mention the fact that Ted Cruz edged out John Kasich for second place in Michigan and won Idaho. It's also true that we need to make sure that we provide real solutions to voters' lives. Why are voters voting for Donald Trump? It's not because the voters are stupid. It's because Donald Trump is lying to them. Well, the big lie Donald Trump is telling is that he's going to reform the system. He's not going to reform the system. He is the system. He's going to keep the system going that favors the big, the powerful, the wealthy, and the well-connected.
Yeah,
and voters are fed up.
I get that.
With the establishment telling them what to do.
And it sounds good. I'll tell you this, though. He's being asked about Islam, and his answer is out there.
I think if you're fair-minded, there is appalling rhetoric on both sides. I will never defend Donald Trump's use of rhetoric. He's wrong. But there has been a lot of divisive rhetoric, and the Democratic Party has participated in that divisive rhetoric for the last 8 years. And it's one of the reasons why we have a divided nation, not a unified nation.
Yeah, I think you're conflating two really different things, and not fairly so, about the Obama White House in terms of police officers.
Really?
I don't know. For the sake of this argument, you have Donald Trump,
like this administration doesn't have their badge.
I've never seen the President of the United States, Barack Obama, go out and say more divisive things than this candidate. Like purposefully divisive, purposefully not true. Okay? Let's not.
I'm not going to defend Donald Trump. I am not defending Donald Trump.
Well,
Donald Trump needs to be beaten at the ballot box.
Would you vote for him in the fall? Would you vote for Donald Trump?
Well, you know what? Here's what the media always does. With all due respect, you guys keep asking hypotheticals. It's March. Don't ask me a hypothetical. We'll see what happens on Tuesday in Florida. We'll see what happens in this election. But we got a long way to go.
You can see why her personality is every bit as abrasive, even more so,
months making sure that Ted Cruz, not Donald Trump,
former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton.
And just we did this before. Do you agree, or would you call Donald Trump out for saying that Islam hates America?
You know, Mika, I have said...
Yes or no? Not what you said before. What is your answer now?
From the moment Donald Trump jumped into this race, I said, and took a lot of heat for it, Donald Trump does not represent me, and he does not represent my party. So I'm clear and on the record on this. I'm here to make sure that Donald Trump is not our nominee and that Ted Cruz is.